there, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited. I am so excited about this quick live today, and the message is simple. Are you showing up like a giant for yourself? Are you showing up really in incredible ways, being brave for yourself, standing tall in your gifts, in your talents, honoring the calling that's on your life, deciding today, not tomorrow, not next week, is the day that you will move forward in the purpose that you have, set inside your heart and inside your mind. I decided 20 years ago that I had to be giant for myself. And what I realized was that I was being giant for every single person in my world. I was being giant for my kids. I was being giant for my husband. I was being giant in the workplace. But I needed to be giant for myself, so that I could live a life that I desired. And I knew that for me, I was settling, and maybe this is you, being fully transparent with you, I was settling for a good life because I was afraid of the great life. It seemed at that time like something unattainable, like pie in the sky. Who would I talk to about my highest and my tallest vision, being a mom coach when there were no mom coaches? But I decided to put all of that on the back burner and be tall for myself, to show up like a giant in my life, and I've never regretted it. And it's one of the reasons why today I only work with clients who call themselves giants also, women who are smart and they're sharp, and they love being in the company of other women who choose powerfully for themselves. They love being in environments with other women who lead from the front, their own ambition level and above. People who celebrate you and clap for you when you are doing the extraordinary. What do I mean? Being ordinary is not giant. You know this. Doing the same things day in and day out that don't challenge you, that don't allow you to feel alive, don't allow you to reach for that biggest and highest and tallest dream, or the things that are on your vision board. Anyone can do that any single day. And quite frankly, it's the thing that's gotten in the way of you living your greatest life, right? Accomplishments. Being giant is deciding that the things that are on those boards, the things that's in your mind's eye, inside your heart, that passion that's there, that you wake up with every now and again, or you get that inkling that you can do it, but you just don't know the how. It's saying yes to that, and understanding that you do not have to know all the answers of how you're going to get to where you want to be, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible for you. Because I had no answers when I first got started. None. I did not know how I was going to build my business. I had no idea, but I knew it was possible, and I knew I had a talent and ability that was in demand, and I needed some support to understand how to do that. And I hired tons of mentors and coaches to support me with understanding many different ways to take what I was doing and how to monetize it. And I'm grateful that I understood being giant for myself meant, one, going for that dream and that purpose, even though I didn't see anyone else doing what I wanted to do, and two, investing in myself quickly and understanding that I could not achieve what I wanted to achieve with my own might, because I just didn't know how to make a coaching business, create a coaching business. I didn't know anything about it. And so if you've been wondering, how can you take what you know how to do, how can you put that in a structure to monetize at the highest level, to sell high ticket, and you need some support, I'm here to support you. You can always inbox us, and someone on my team will get back to you and explain how I can support you, or how the Giant Experience Master Trainer can support you. Being giant for yourself means that you don't ignore what you know is the next phase for you, and that you stop settling, right, for what doesn't, it doesn't make you feel alive. And you know how when you're doing what you love to do, and I can attest to this 100%, you feel alive. You don't feel like you're going through the motions in your life any longer. You don't feel like, hey there, Stephanie. Hey, darling. I'm talking about being giant, and you're totally a giant for yourself. And that when you make that decision to be giant, often the way forward, you don't have an example of what it looks like. Maybe what you want to do, no one else is doing, and you have to be giant for yourself and know that the gifts that you've been given are more than enough for you to lead and broker that idea. And being giant for yourself, Stephanie, just to catch you up on what we were talking about, as understanding that self-investment is a great first step, right? Like sometimes the slowest route is for us to teach ourselves that which we do not know. And it's the thing that gets in the way of so many smart and incredible people. Being giant for ourselves means that we're not looking for approval from people in our life, in our world, to say that's a great idea. It's just that you were born with this thing, you were purpose with this thing, and that settling on the dream is the thing that makes you get up each and every morning and realize you don't feel alive or fully expressed. And I think when we get to do what we love to do, we get to be giants in our lives. We get to be the examples of what it looks like to do something that means something to us and to create that and show other people it's possible. I know that's true for me. My family didn't know anything about working from the comfort of your home the way that I work, okay, or anywhere I choose to in the world. And the fact of the matter is, me leading from the front has changed my family. It has changed my parents. Have never seen anything like this ever in their life. It's changed for my friends what they believe is possible for them. You got to be giant for you, because there are people who are counting on your example for you to pave the way. And while I'm not a fan of doing what you have to do for your kids or your spouse, or you have to do it for yourself. And let me explain. Your family will be the benefactors of your success. They will be the benefactors of your growth. And there's so many women that say, I'm building my business and I'm doing this for my family. And when I ask them, what did you do what did you do in your business last week? They did nothing. And that's because they have the wrong motivation. Hey, Chris, I decided I needed to do this for me. I had to be giant for me, or I was going to be working for 40 years, in an office each and every day, doing 40 to 60 hours each and every week, work that I loved, that used my skills and talents, but I knew there was more for me. And I had to take that risk, invest in myself, time, money, energy, effort. And you know what? I look back 20 years later and see my life is unrecognizable. Well, that was my message for you today, is be giant for yourself. You can do this. It's easier than you think. You don't have to know every single step in order for you to move forward. You can say yes and figure it out along the way. If you need support in packaging your knowledge, check out the Giant Experience Master Training. It is the greatest first step in terms of working with me, and I'll help you package your knowledge into a high-ticket product on or offline. And even if you don't know what the product is yet, because sometimes our gifts are so close to us that we're not really sure the different structures or ways that we can monetize. And if you've not gone to miaredrick.com and seen my webinar, go check out my webinar. It's free, 100%. And it's a great way for you to figure out, or get started figuring out, how can I take these years of experience, my background, my gifts, my talents, and how can I monetize the gift of me being a product, all right? Because you are the product, whether you believe it or not. I love you. I care about you. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, remember, be giant for yourself. Say yes to yourself. Show up for yourself. I'll talk to you soon.